Welcome to the Community Collective Podcast, a flip-flop agent production in collaboration with the Davison Area Chamber of Commerce. I am your host, Johnny B. Good.
Good afternoon, and welcome to a new edition of the Community Collective. I am Travis Howe, the Executive Director of the Davison Area Chamber. My co-host, Johnny, as usual, is busy and out and about selling homes today, but he definitely helps me out as much as possible with edits and suggestions and working together. But we're really excited on our podcast today to have one of my friends that I've gotten to know really the past few years, Aboneaaj. Welcome to the podcast today. How are you, my friend?
Hey, Travis, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
We're really excited to talk with you today. I know you're involved in so many different areas in the community, but I've really got to know you a lot recently in my new role. You are a Davison Area Chamber of Commerce ambassador, which I am so thankful for that group. And this has been a great way for you and I to interact a little bit more with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. We've crossed paths over the last couple, 3 years, but with you being in your new role with the chamber and whatnot, it's just that much easier to connect and share ideas and get caught up and all the above. So I enjoy the open communication and just all the things that you're doing and the direction the chamber is going in.
Yeah, it's you know what, like I always say, it's a team effort and a team that works together. One thing that we always really enjoy asking our guests, and I think so many people are very interested to know this because they probably so many people have seen you around town, or so many people know you, but some people don't know. Mo, tell us a little bit. What is your background, like work experience, or things you've done with your family or in the community? So fill us in. What's your background like, Mo?
Yeah, sure. I've lived in the Davison area now for 23 years. We moved here right when my oldest son was born. And in that time, most of that time, I worked for Dort Financial or Dort Federal Credit Union. And I had 23 years of experience there. And about 2.5, 3 years ago, I had left there to try something different. And currently, I'm with Case Home Loans. I'm a mortgage loan officer. I've always been in lending in some capacity, whether it's real estate or consumer lending. And I wanted to really focus on mortgage lending. It made sense with my background and the opportunity that presented itself at the time. And I'm a mortgage loan officer, and I have a couple other irons in the fire. I also currently am working at the township. Um, I work there as a payroll and records clerk and HR representative. I enjoy that, kind of fills the gap. A bulk of my lending time is spent after hours talking with my borrowers or clients or on weekends and late nights. The two kind of complement each other. But yeah, bulk of my time was with Dort Financial, 23 years. I worked at the M15 location here in Davison for a good run, about 10 or 11 of those years. And then I moved throughout various departments and branches and ended my last 8 years at Dort as the branch manager out in Lapeer. Now I have a home office, working for the township and doing all the other community events and different boards that I'm on. Just keeps me plugged in right here at Davison. So I'm pretty happy to
Wow.
be a part of the community.
I always admire people that have a background in finance, mortgage, lending. It's something that's way above my head. You know what? I always feel bad when my kids come to me and ask me math questions and I don't understand. I admire someone that is definitely good with numbers and working with people on that. And it sounds like so much experience there with Dort and then Kaysen and now Davison Township. It just sounds like you've built a great career on interacting with people, managing teams, and then working on finances. That's a well-rounded job experience area, Mo. And it sounds like you've been in Davison for a long time, not only working, but you have your kids and then been involved. Yeah. What was the changes like for you? You going from managing place, doing the mortgage area and the township. I'm sure there's a lot of similarities as well in each of those.
Yeah, there is, and there's a lot of differences, but I think the core common denominator is just working with people. That's what it's really all about, is taking the time to get to better know my clients or just people in general, residents, business owners, and really zeroing in on what they're saying, taking the time to listen. And if you do that, if you're an effective listener, they'll tell you what you need to hear. And then from there, you just try to coach and advise and give some support or direction if it's a problem or issue they're looking to get settled, or just being available, making yourself readily available and not feeling like you're rushing them through whatever it is they're explaining to you, and just really taking that time to get to know the person in front of you, whether it's in a work setting or a networking setting through one of the events we do through the chamber. It's just putting yourself out there and making yourself accessible to the public and making the best out of whatever scenario comes your way.
Yeah, because I'm sure in each of those roles, you're dealing with a wide variety of individuals from different backgrounds. So, yeah, you really have to be a people person in each of those roles that you have, which that is an acquired skill, I think, for a lot of people. It's not for them, but Mo, when I've gotten to know you, you're extremely friendly. You can talk to anyone, and I think right there, it shows an example. You're a people person, and that's great.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
leads me into something else. And then one of the areas that over the years we've gotten to know each other, but I've really been able to, I think, develop our friendship and is through the Davison Area Chamber. So, Mo, what got you interested in being part of the Davison Chamber?
As my previous role as branch manager at Dort Financial, we were always engaged with local chamber and different events going on. So I was an ambassador for the Fenton, Linden, and Argentine Chamber at one point. I was part of the Lapeer Chamber of Commerce. And then when I got back to Davison, and just it just made sense. And I could see the tide was changing a little bit with the Davison Chamber being more involved, more engaged, being more visible to the public, promoting the chamber and all the benefits and perks that come with that, whether you participating and joining in on a networking at noon, or if someone actually wants to become a active member. And then I wanted to take it a step further, and I'm an ambassador for the Davison Chamber, have been now for about 3 years or so. And it's a no-brainer. For everything that I'm doing, it goes full circle. It covers all my bases as far as expanding my networking and promoting my business, my mortgage lending business, or whatever the case might be. So it's just an overall positive experience. It's not terribly demanding. I know sometimes, especially during the summer with Festival of Flags and other events, it could get a little bit to where we're doing a lot, but I think we have a very manageable schedule, and allows you to pick and choose. There's a lot of new businesses being established here throughout the Davison Township. So if you can't make it to one ribbon cutting ceremony, next week there's another event. The chamber, and including yourself, does a great job in communicating, promoting, and just encouraging folks to share ideas and contact information and getting some built-in leads. Just the members alone trying to promote each other's businesses is always a great advantage. And you get to know the people one on one. It's not like you're just promoting them, giving them a shameless plug, but once you get to know the members or people that visit our luncheons and whatnot, then you can really give that handoff or that referral with some confidence that, hey, these guys are owner operators, or they're really all in on what they're doing, and this is who I'd recommend going seeing to help you out. So it's just, again, a great way to network and promote your business and better the community, Davison as a whole. When these companies and individuals that provide a service or products, anytime we can help them in their sales or in growing their business, then it's a win-win all the way around.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. It's for me, when I started entering into that chamber world, it was amazing to see where everybody came from. We have so many different types of industries and organizations represented. When you come and you said that networking, that's so valuable. Even as like a basic person, I feel like a resident coming in, you can feel welcome to learn what's offered in our community. But then as a business owner or representing a business, you're coming in and it gives you a chance, like you mentioned, just to say, hey, this is where I'm from, this is what we offer. And I think that is beneficial. It's kind of like a welcome package. Come in, visit Davison, this is what's all here. And you hope that, yeah, our hope is as a chamber that when someone calls us, we can say, oh, you're looking for a mortgage consultant, or you need to contact the Davison Township Hall. We have that connection. It's like, oh, hey, you really need to talk to this person or this person. And I think you hit it right there, Mo, and getting it correct. And I know I appreciate the chamber group as well, just because everybody is volunteering their time. So you as an ambassador are sharing your time out of your work schedule and with your family to come to us. So Mo, tell us a little bit about it. So you've done it in a couple of different chambers. What is it like volunteering as a chamber ambassador and sharing that with our listeners?
A lot of that, basically what I had just mentioned, I think it's a good way to get plugged in a little bit deeper into the community and where you live or work or both. It allows you to get to know people throughout the community on a more personal level. It also gives you exposure to even myself, even businesses that I didn't even know existed within Davison. And like I said, I've been here 23 years, and sometimes businesses open and you don't realize that. You might drive by there every single day and then take you a few months to realize it. As a member of the chamber and ambassador and whatnot, it's allowed me to just see all the growth and development firsthand throughout the township and really broaden my spectrum as to what the possibilities are as far as businesses and different things that come about that. It's not terribly demanding. I feel like it's very rewarding, and I think opportunities present themselves the more you're engaged with the chamber and the events. It's just like it goes hand in hand. The more opportunities, the more people you get to meet, and the more you're getting your name out there and learning from one another. So it's really a positive experience. It's not terribly demanding and everything in balance. Like you said, it is voluntary, volunteering your time, but I think there's enough events that you can go to them. And then if you can't, other team members of the chamber can pick that up and vice versa. But for the
Yeah,
most part, it's just a great overall experience. It's pretty laid back and it's just positive every which way you look at it.
yeah.
Between the
And I think,
Festival of Flags and the event we put on at the Davison Country Club every year, there's a couple of big events there, and then everything in between as far as the ribbon cutting ceremonies and socializing, networking after five, or the breakfast, the luncheons. It's just overall, it's a great experience.
yeah, and I think it's something good for our people who are listening in. You did a great, explaining what the role of an ambassador is. And then for us, it's for those listening and trying to figure it out, it is these individuals that are part of the chamber and ambassadors are representing the chamber in the community in their avenues. But we have no requirements to say you have to be at this many meetings or attend this many events. We appreciate everything our volunteers do to help promote our local businesses and organizations. And I think that's why one reason, like Mo mentioned, we're offering a lot of events to give people opportunities to not only meet each other, but choose which ones work into their work schedules or family schedules to be able to come and do something with our chamber and our communities. Yeah, Mo, you're right there with it. So now, one thing that I've always loved when I've talked to you and I've learned a lot from is over the years, you've been involved in quite a few different community organizations and events with the chamber, but also other areas. So do you have some of those organizations that you would like to share about with us, or some events that you've enjoyed overall in our community?
Yeah, the one organization or board I was on that I took a lot of pride in was on the Davison Community Fund Advisory Board. That's for the Flint, the greater growth of Genesee County. I turned out there, but that was a great panel to be a part of. So I had 9 years in that capacity, in that role. Currently, I'm on the DDA for Davison Township as the treasurer, and we've rolled out a program called the Beautification Program to where if business owners or storefront business owners throughout Davidson Township, if they do some renovations to their storefront or their house, or whatever, not their house, but if they're operating out of a house, basically a storefront, their business, if they're doing beautification like curb appeal, some updates and renovations, and they pay for it, and then they can apply for a beautification grant, and we would reimburse them up to 5,000. So to be a part of that program and to see people take advantage of it, and then to drive by the storefront later, come together, that's good, especially with all the growth that the township's currently experiencing. I'm on the DDA currently as the treasurer. We also sit on the board for the Richfield Davidson Township Senior Center. What else? I'm a big supporter of Davidson Football Boosters, the Optimist Club for the camel races. One thing I've been doing probably for the last 3 years, I have a presence at the Pumpkin Fest. Always have a tent and a table set up, and I give out giveaways, a drawing once on the hour. Typically, last year it was like a $25 gift certificate to Davison Hotel. People just fill out a quick form, put it in, and on the hour from 11 to about 4, I do a drawing and with some other freebies, and just talk with people, get to meet them, and maybe run some numbers or give them a payment quote on a new mortgage payment or whatnot, or if they are looking to do a cash out refinance to cover home improvements, college expenses, or any unforeseen expenses. Well, that's a great turnout. The Pumpkin Fest, obviously, for the chamber, the Festival of Flags, I think everyone's looking forward to that every year, especially how it just ties in with the school year and wrapping up and kids letting out. It's just always a good time of the year to kick off the summer. All the traditional events, and then at the holidays to be a part of that, contributing to outreach here in Davison and all the different things throughout the holiday season that we team up with the city of Davison and the fire department and the police, shop with a hero for a day. And Davison is, I guess that's why I call Davison home, or proud to call Davison home, is take a lot of pride in community. And really, that's what it's all about, especially raising 3 children here. They all going through Davison. My daughter's a senior this year. My youngest son's a 6th grader. Anytime you can be engaged with the public and the school system and all the other opportunities to promote your business, it's just, in my opinion, I found it very beneficial for all types of reasons. Not just growing the business, but getting to meet new people, new friends, such as you and I, and all the positives that come along with it.
Yeah, no, Mo, it's amazing. It is. I think this is what's good, is when we have these conversations, I think a lot of people don't know about some of the events that maybe go on or the organizations that go on, or maybe they just moved here. But yeah, you named so many things where I love that the Davidson Township DDA is using ways to invest in businesses. It's a commitment, a joint partnership between the business and the township. And of course, our senior center is, I think, one of the best in Genesee County. So that's great right there. And yeah, Pumpkin Fest. Who doesn't love going downtown and just enjoying that family atmosphere? And I'm sure you have a blast by having a table there. You're not walking around just missing people, but people are walking around and they're stopping at your table. So you get to talk to everybody. And I think that is, and with chamber events, there's so many things. And it's great to hear what roles you're playing. And I think that's, for me, that's such a wonderful thing, knowing that you're a chamber ambassador, but you play a big role in so many other different things, which is great because you're listening to everybody. And so when I have a chance to talk to you, you can say, "Hey, we had this idea shared," or "Hey, I experienced this," which is beneficial to me, and I appreciate that. I think that is the great thing when you get to know people like you and I have gotten to know each other. We can just have this conversation on the podcast or on the phone or if we meet for coffee, and I know I can trust you, which is a good thing, and I value your opinion, and I think that's evident in a lot of things that you're doing these things not only for the place where you live and you're raising your kids, but just because you love the Davison area, which is, I think, I agree, Mo. We live in such a wonderful community that offers so much to families and people from all different backgrounds. So it's so interesting to hear so many of these things that are going on. And things that you're involved with. And I think sometimes it's hard to pick probably like the favorite thing in our community. But if you could pick one thing that you've always enjoyed with your kids, I like to use as an example because I have kids. What is something that you say every year, I love doing this with my kids or enjoying this event with my kids in the Davison area?
It's hard to pick one thing. I
It
think
is.
I think I with my kids, I always enjoy the fall season with the change in the weather and getting back into a routine with school. And I guess the one thing my family and I always enjoyed or with my children is just going to the Friday night home games,
Yeah.
watching the football under the lights and fresh air, and just typically running into a lot of people, and the kids have fun, and it's just a good atmosphere, good setting, and it doesn't cost a lot to go out, and it's on a Friday night. It's always a good way to end your week. Maybe take the kids out for dinner prior to going to the
Yeah.
game, and then go to the game, and they can blow some steam off, hang out with their friends, watch the game. Especially we've been having winning seasons, so it makes it even easier to want to get out. But I think that's the one thing as a family we always enjoyed, going to the Friday night lights, to the games like that, and just
Oh,
overall enjoying
yeah.
Abernathy Park. I've taken my kids there when they were little younger, and they've all grown up there playing in the playscape and whatnot. But yeah, I'd say going to the football games on Friday nights. It's a
Oh man,
good
I couldn't
family
agree
outing.
more. My kids have already been asking, all right, when's that first football game? When can we go to it? And we love it. I'm with you. Get those lights on, get the whole community coming together just for a blast. But then you're watching the Cards win games and constantly be dominant. So I'm with you. I love that atmosphere. So Mo, I really want to thank you. Mo Aboneaaj, thank you so much. You play a role in so many different things in our community. I want to thank you so much for all the stuff you do as an ambassador, volunteering at chamber events and functions, but all that you do for our community. And I do. I appreciate your friendship. And Mo, thank you so much for coming on the Community Collective podcast today.
Absolutely. Thank you for the invite. Appreciate it. And thank you for all that you do.